All right. Judgment, renewal, regeneration, leaving the baggage and the karma of the past behind. This is spiritual renewal. That makes total sense here. So that's your central focus, Scorpio. What's crossing that is temperance, another major arcana, all about finding balance. And usually I associate judgment with forgiveness. So it makes sense that balance, temperance, inner peace, serenity is showing up with forgiveness. I'll talk more about that when I go through each of the cards, but that's your central focus. What's at the root of the situation is the moon, yet another major arcana. So this could be kind of a big month for you with all these major arcana showing up, Scorpio. What's passing away is Seven of Swords. Your opportunity is Five of Coins. Approaching influence is Seven of Swords. You in the situation are Queen of Coins reversed. Your environment is King of Wands reversed. Your hopes and fears is Queen of Swords. And your potential outcome is Ten of Wands in reverse. There's a little bit of a glare on that, so I'll hold that up when I get to it. Okay, I'm seeing a storyline here, Scorpio, and also bottom of the deck is Six of Swords, which confirms that. I'm really getting a sense that you're learning something, that you're recovering from something, that you're looking to establish your base and your foundation this month. I really see that you're overcoming some struggles, and in fact that's what your outcome card is saying here. You're having the opportunity to let go of carrying some things that are no longer serving you. Whenever I see Ten of Wands, I always ask, what are you holding that's not yours? What are you carrying that is not necessary, that's in excess? So I'll come back to this card at the end, but I really see with all of this happening, you're recovering from something, you're moving on from something, you're deciding what it is that needs to be let go of and kept in the past and not dragged into the future, and then establishing your balance, your serenity, your inner peace. So let's start with these two cards. This is your central focus, and it really makes sense with eclipse season, because eclipse season is about transformation, shedding old skins, becoming more aware of where our shadow aspects are, where our blind spots are. Those come up for illumination, and that's what's happening here too. Judgment is a card about second chances on things. It's about letting the old karma of the past go, letting the old baggage go, old dramas, whether this has to do with people at the office or your family or personal relationships. These people are dead, and in the Judgment card, they get released through the healing power and the renewing spiritual fire of forgiveness here. That's what this Judgment card is about. So it's letting the past go. And I'm seeing what comes with that is temperance. Temperance is emotionally balanced and grounded. That's what 1 foot in the water here and 1 foot on the earth represents. And it means having emotional balance. That's what these cups represent. Cups represent the emotional element. So as you employ forgiveness towards yourself and towards others, you let these stories from the past, this emotional baggage from the past go, and it renews things for you. And that's where you get this temperance coming in. Now, this is your challenge card. So it's a matter of really letting these things go, things that may have hurt you, stories that you may have carried with you, experiences that may have happened that are dead and gone. But temperance is here as something that's available if you can let it in. Because it's your challenge card, it's saying that you may be having a hard time accepting this in and working with compromise, there may be patterns of being in conflict that you're having a hard time letting go of, where maybe you can just be serene. You can be in a state of forgiveness. You can be, I really have to say here, Scorpio, that this power of forgiveness is really going to bring you this month, if you're able to do it. And I do see that you can. I see that there has been some confusion, or there may have been some secrets which is the basis of this foundation. You know, this card is associated with Pisces, but I always look at this crustacean coming up as crab or Scorpio. It's about coming up from really deep waters and allowing those deep emotions to come to the surface for evaluation. There may have, this total lunar eclipse at the end of July may have brought up some deep-seated feelings that are up for evaluation, up for review, maybe up for release. And the symbolism of the dog and the wolf here represents our left brain and right brain. It represents our logical, analytical, sort of more abstract mind, or mathematical mind. I'll just say logical, analytical, what processes things in terms of things that are cut and dried, you know, left and right. And our right side brain is more creative. It's more of the passionate, wild, irrational side of us. But it's really about letting those emotions come up for review and trying to balance these two. It's trying to find that balance between things that are logical, duty-bound, you know, loyal and dedicated like the dog, things that have to do with obedience, things that have to do with practicality, and also the more wild part of ourselves, you know, the part that is passionate, that runs after its instincts, that trusts its instincts, that goes by its inner gut feeling. So it's really, for you this month, about finding that balance between being this emotional self, we see the water in both of these, and also being grounded, noticing your way forward. Let's see this path in both of these cards. That's what's going to take you forward and take you away from these old stories, this old, you can see sort of like desolate landscape. It's going to take you into a place where, you know, place of the verdant hills, a place of where you're headed. But you have to allow these deep-seated emotions to come up for review, Scorpio. And you do have the opportunity to find balance here with that. You may have to assess if certain things were illusions. The moon can often be a card about what is, permanent versus what is changeable, what is real versus what's illusion. The moon does not broadcast its own light. It's reflecting from the sun, but it appears to cast its own light. So the moon can be a card of deception, and I'm seeing that here with Seven of Swords. There may have been some deception that was in your environment, whether this was you or someone else, but I see this passing away. This could be someone lying to you, or you lying to yourself, or just something that may have felt like it was taken from you, Scorpio. So allowing this process to happen and allowing these deep-seated emotions, you Scorpios are usually pretty private, but this can be something that can be done internally and in the private, you know, comfort of your own home. You know, at night is a good time to just allow these emotions to percolate and really evaluate and assess what is true for you and what is illusion. What was something that left you feeling confused or deceived, or something that wasn't really that reliable. And then your opportunity is to feel healed from something. This is Five of Coins, which often feels, I'm really getting the sense with both of these, that you may feel like something was taken away from you. And the lesson in this card is a choice of focus. We can either focus on the material world and feel like we're left out in the cold, or we can focus on the spiritual world, where it's always warm, it's always bright, where there's always emotional nourishment and sustenance and care and consideration. So this is really, this being your card of opportunity, says that you have an opportunity to choose what your focus is. Do you want to focus on stories from the past, and carry those forward with you as extra heavy baggage? You know, it's also related to this, carrying more than you need to. Or do you want to accept in this peace, this serenity from employing this forgiveness and actually going through the healing? So there's a lot going on there, Scorpio. I mean, even this card, the bottom of the deck, Six of Swords, is about moving on, healing from something, going from charged waters to smoother horizons. So you really do have the opportunity to heal from something, Scorpio, this month, but it's going to require you to be very honest with yourself. It's going to require you to really get real about what is in the past. What did you view as true versus false? What did you feel like was taken from you potentially, or how did someone deceive you, or what is this underhanded behavior and how was that showing up? And how can you access this sense of peace? How can you give up those old stories? That's your opportunity this month. It's kind of heavy, but it's also very like hopeful. And I do see that your future, what's coming in, is Three of Swords. And this card is generally a card of heartbreak and disappointment and betrayal. But you can see that what's going on with this card is that the mind is piercing the heart. Swords represent the mental element. They represent ideas, thoughts, beliefs, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. There could be something that you find out that breaks your heart, and it could be related to this character. I mean, some of you could be recovering from a breakup from someone you felt did you wrong. And for some of you, it may be an opportunity to look at what swords, thoughts, ideas, or beliefs you need to pull out of your heart in order to allow it to mend and heal. And this can also be related to this card of forgiveness again. If you can take out these certain ways of thinking about someone or about a situation that happened, something that you may have felt broke your heart, then your heart can heal. So there's a lot to do this month for you about releasing, and it's a perfect time to do that with eclipse season. So it's like I said, there's a lot of sort of heavy themes, but it's also very hopeful, with Judgment being your central focus. And Judgment and Temperance are really about this one's shedding things that belong in the past, starting a new life, second chances. And this is really about finding inner peace, establishing serenity that is available to you. So, and becoming emotionally balanced. So let's take a look at what else is going on, Scorpio. So you in the situation, Scorpio, are showing up as Queen of Coins reversed. Now, this could mean that you're just feeling a little ungrounded. And that could be here with your challenge as Temperance. So it might be a good time to do grounding meditations. It might be a good time to just focus on certain practicalities that allow you to feel established in the material world. It could be some of you being, unhappy at work. I've seen that with the new moon partial solar eclipse in your 10th house in terms of career or how you bring in income. There could be some dissatisfaction there that's coming to the surface for you to look at it and to maybe change things up or just make decisions that benefit you better in your own favor. So in terms of being king or queen of your own castle, I'm seeing that you may just be feeling a little not solid or stable or steady there. There may be some blind spots that you're now getting illuminated so that you can address those or release those and bring more balance. For some of you, it may be coming more into your own authority. If there is, say, an earth sign boss, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that you feel is not allowing you to experience this peace or this serenity, it may be time to address that, Scorpio. So you have a couple of things going on. Your environment is King of Wands in reverse. So potentially it could be a fire sign boss, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius that you're not seeing eye to eye with. This is someone who is usually very bold, very charismatic, has big ideas, does things in a big way. But in the reverse, they can just be sort of like a steamroller, or they you may not see eye to eye with them. There could be a conflict with two royal cards in reverse. There could be a conflict of authority. So that's what's showing up in your environment, you and your environment. There may be, it could be you and your partner who are having a conflict in terms of how things should go, what the rules should be, what the boundaries are. And that's showing up here in your hopes and fears. Your hope, what you most want, but you most fear, is setting boundaries here. So this is, Queen of Swords is about clear speech, getting really clear on what's true for you. She's holding the sword of truth. So she's very much in accordance with truth and very clear about speaking that and defending those boundaries. So that's the sense that I get of what you most want, Scorpio, is to speak your truth, but it may be that it's very challenging for you to do that. It could be that it's something you fear doing because you're fearful of the consequences of it. But I see that by embracing that and speaking your truth, not only do you get surrounded by this rose garden, but also it alleviates you from carrying more than is your fair share. It allows you to let go of some of the irons in the fire that you have that maybe you feel like are burdening you or weighing you down. So I really see this month as an opportunity for healing, for letting things go from the past that are no longer relevant or no longer serving you, an opportunity to invite in some harmony, some peace, some serenity, and to potentially do some healing and recovery as you let things go that you no longer want to carry. Maybe a good image for you this month is that of a hot air balloon, where as you let things go, you let old baggage, old sand go, you get lighter and you get higher. I mean, it's funny with this card being an angel. There's a cliche or a quote that says, angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. So that's one of the things that I'd like you to consider, is that this could be a month of releasing heaviness by being true to yourself, acknowledging what your deep-seated emotions are, acknowledging what your truth and your boundaries are. Happiness and harmony comes when your internal world is a reflection of your external world and vice versa. When those are in harmony, I forget who said it. It may have been the Dalai Lama or Gandhi, I think it was Gandhi who said, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and when what you do are all in harmony, or when they all are equal. So that's your opportunity here. So that's my reading for you, Scorpio. It looks like an intense month, but also a very liberating one for you, potentially very healing. So I'm very happy to see that for you. And if you feel like doing something new, or you see something in terms of your career, it could be like a little crack in the wall where light comes in, and it's worth following that to see where you can feel liberated, where you can feel like you're going from charged waters to smoother horizons. So enjoy that, Scorpio. Enjoy the transformative eclipse season that's happening. And I just want to thank everyone so much for tuning in. If you'd like a personal or private reading with me, I'll have links to that below. And as always, thank you everyone so much for watching. Yours in the stars.